What's up, guys? Welcome to Simply FPL. We are back for another game week preview. That international break felt like it lasted about a month. So delighted we've got some fantasy football back. And after game week 4, how crazy that was, who knows what's going to happen in game week 5. But let's get straight into it, shall we? So looking at our back line, Martinez, fairly happy we've put him in during our wildcard. So he only got 3 points there last week, or 2 weeks ago, but it was against Liverpool. Wasn't expecting to get more than 2 at the most. Looked really good, and Villa have some really nice fixtures coming up, so potential to add even more Villa players in there. But yeah, I'll be sticking with Martinez now till at least the next wildcard, I'll say. Fairly happy with that as well. So Leicester, they've looked okay. I mean, if you take the penalties away, like they've had a lot of penalties, right? They had 4 penalties in their opening 4 games. So I wouldn't say they necessarily look like world beaters. Aston Villa have looked quite good defensively. Will they get a clean sheet against Leicester? Probably not. But I'm more than happy to keep Martinez in there and hope to get a few saves in there. Trent Alexander-Arnold, our first defender of the week. Now, one problem we're going to have this week is 5 of our players play for Liverpool or Everton, and they're playing in the early kickoff. So we're going to have either a really good start where, I don't know, it's like a 5-all draw. We've got a load of points for all 5 of our players. Or we're going to have a really terrible start where both teams score and it's like a couple of random players that score. So anyway, yeah, Trent, a lot of people getting rid of him. I've not got rid of him yet. I don't think I will either. Liverpool have some really good fixtures coming up. Look, they've started the season poorly. And that's probably an understatement, but it's still Liverpool. They're still guaranteed to finish top 4, probably guaranteed to finish top 2, and I still think they're probably going to win the league. So, look, I'm not going to write off their entire team of world-class players just because they've had a couple of bad games. So, Trent gets the nod for me. I'm an Everton fan, so I kind of hope him and Salah have a terrible game, but the odds are like he might get some sort of return. So, yeah, he's staying in there, and I don't think I'll be getting rid of him anytime soon. Luca Digne played last night for France. I believe he's 75% to play now. I think he had a bit of an injury, although it's just said in the news there that he says he's probably going to be fine for Saturday. So fingers crossed. Again, maybe slightly underperforming, just like Trent, but like he's such an attacking fullback. He's on some of the corners. He's on most of the free kicks. He's always in the box. Like, it's just a no-brainer. I think Everton, although they always do terrible against Liverpool, as an Everton fan, this is the first time in years where I'm actually going into a game thinking, we've actually got a chance. So, look, hopefully Digne plays. Hopefully he has a good game, and he might surprise a lot of people with the amount of points he gets. So, looking at Sice, right, and Wolves in general, like a lot of people, I completely bandwagoned Wolves. Jumped straight on them, got triple the players for a couple of weeks. I've kind of moved straight out of that now. I think, although I think Wolves will still have a good season, they're not in Europa League or anything. There's obviously a bit of teething problems with this season, and obviously with the Portugal squad having the coronavirus, with a few of their players, you don't know how many of Wolves' Portuguese players might not feature. So, yeah, considering my options with Wolves, but for now, Sice is still in the team. Leeds away. Maybe we'll get a clean sheet. Leeds look so good at the moment. But, yeah, it's hard to tell with this one. He's in my squad just because I don't have many better options. I'd say in the next 3 to 4 weeks, I might consider shipping Sice out. Got a clean sheet and some bonus points there. Last game week against Fulham. He's still in the team, but yeah, he's only just in there. Reece James. So he was dropped last week for Chelsea's 4-0 win against Palace. Now, I think when Chelsea play a back 5, he's nailed on to play as the right wing back, and then Cesar Azpilicueta will go kind of the right centre back position. Now they played a 4-4-2. Was it 4-3-3? They had a back 4 anyway against Palace, probably to deal with Palace's left wing. A lot of fast players in there, so I still think James is going to get a lot of games this season. And if he gets a lot of games in that team, I think he's going to get a lot of points. So I'm not planning on getting rid of him just yet. I'm hopeful that he'll start this week against Southampton. I think probably Chelsea might go back to that 5 at the back. But look, I don't know, right? So I think a lot of Chelsea fans don't even know. So we'll see what happens with that one. If he starts, he's nailed on to get 90. If he doesn't start, highly likely he won't get on the pitch, and then one of my subs will come in anyway. So yeah, I'm happy to leave him in there. Hopefully he doesn't come on for like 5 minutes at the end, but I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, looking at my midfield, we're going for a 4-4-2 this week. You may notice that we're missing Phil Foden. Now, I've got rid of him. I just the last couple of games, as well as City looking bad, he just looks like he's not really getting about too much. He's just not really done that much, and he's not guaranteed to necessarily play week in, week out when Aguero, Mahrez, the main guys are back. So look, it was a good time to bring Son in. So he was the one guy that had to get the chop. There was just no way I was getting rid of Salah, De Bruyne and Rodriguez, and dropping Podence wouldn't have left me enough money. So yeah, Foden's gone. I still think that if he can find his way into a first team appearance every single week, like if he can get on that team sheet for the rest of the season, he'll be back in my squad soon enough. Look, a £6.5 million midfielder, attacking midfielder almost for City, who plays 38 games. He's going to be in everyone's team, but we can't guarantee that right now. So yeah, we might bring him back in the future, but for now he's gone. So yeah, Rodriguez, he just played for Colombia there. Now, Carlo Ancelotti did say that he's not guaranteeing James' place in the squad. He might have to sit on the bench. But I'm hoping that if he comes back, he's going to be itching to play in this, the first ever Merseyside derby for him. I'm hopeful he's going to start just based on him definitely wanting to play. Didn't seem to get any sort of injury. Had his game with Colombia, probably got on the first flight home. Hopefully he's not too jet lagged. And again, there's a lot of hopefullys in there. But look, I'm an Everton fan. I don't have any better players to necessarily replace him with. So yeah, he's in the squad. And if he plays, look, we don't know really what he's going to do for the rest of the season. I don't think we're going to necessarily guarantee the goals and assists he's had the last couple of games, but I do think that he's going to be a threat every single game. So Kevin De Bruyne, dodgy one again because he's injured again. I think, or I hope, that Pep Guardiola is kind of playing a bit of mind games with his injury. I'm hoping that he starts against Arsenal because he's down to 75%. Look, City are missing a lot of players. If he can play, he will. And I think Arsenal is actually quite a good fixture for City. I think it's just going to suit their play. I don't think Aguero's back yet. He's kind of back training. And I think when City get their number 9 back, whether it's him or Jesus, or do you know what, maybe Delap will get a game, I think De Bruyne's points will start flying up. So I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and get rid of De Bruyne just yet. I probably won't for at least a couple more game weeks. I just think it's a big call to drop one of your most expensive. He would be my most expensive player. So yeah, he's still in the team. And if I do need to get rid of him at any point, I can upgrade quite a few of my players. So I'm going to have to plan that out a bit more. Give him the vice captaincy this week. He probably not going to get the captain armband because Son's surely going to play. And I'd be hopefully he can get some sort of return this week, even if it's a really terrible penalty. So Mo Salah, if I wasn't an Everton fan, maybe I'd give him the vice captaincy. Maybe I'd even give him the captaincy. As I said, a few videos now, if in doubt, captain Salah, right? As we've seen with Villa, two shots, 2 goals, ping them both in. They weren't exactly easy chances. He doesn't have to have a good game. Liverpool don't have to have a good game, and he'll still get attacking returns. For that reason, he's never leaving my team this week, this season even. So yeah, he's still in the team. I hope he doesn't get any points, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. So we finally got Son in. I've actually not had him in. I've been talking about him non-stop since the beginning of the season, but it's the first time he's in my team. Again, I just don't think he's going anywhere. Is he going to get me 2 goals, 3 goals, 4 goals a week every week? Absolutely not. But I think for the price he is, he's just like the value you can get out of this guy for the rest of the season could be unbelievable. So yeah, I'm not going to double up with him and Kane. That might be something I might explore in the future if I have to drop De Bruyne. But yeah, certainly Son's gonna be in my team for a while. I'm also going to captain him. Look, he's playing West Ham. West Ham have looked really good. But so have Tottenham, and Tottenham are at home. So, look, I think if Tottenham can get a couple of goals, he's going to be involved in at least one of them, probably both of them. So, yeah, captaincy armband, always put him with the players that you think are pretty much guaranteed the points. And I just don't see how he's not involved in some of the goals in some capacity. So, yeah, hopefully you can get a goal, maybe an assist, and a few bonus points while you're at it as well, son, please. Forward line, there's my second transfer. So I had 2 transfers last week. I used them quite early. Knew what my transfers were going to be, and I didn't want to lose any value when the prices were going to increase for Son and Wilson, and maybe going to drop for Foden and Jimenez. So yeah, we dropped Jimenez. As I said, with size, like Wolves have just been nothing like what they looked like last season. And yeah, Jimenez, when he didn't get any points against Fulham, and he didn't really look like getting any points, I think for 8.5 million, there's so many good budget strikers this year. I just couldn't justify him being in my team for another week. And Wolves fixtures are about to turn, so they've got a few really tough fixtures coming up. So yeah, maybe we get him in the future. I think Jimenez is still a great buy at 8.5 million once Wolves are playing back to how they usually do. So yeah, maybe, I don't know, give it another month or so, and we might consider transferring him back in. For now, though, Wilson's going to take his place. Now, Newcastle have. I was obviously in my last video I talked about when to plan to bring Wilson in, and I said maybe bring him in for game week 5, game week 6. Now, I brought him in for the game week 5 because I just don't think Man United I know they're down as a red fixture, but I'd have them down as a green fixture if you're playing them at home. They look so bad defensively. I just, everyone kind of takes the mick about how bad they look, but I still think they're kind of understating how bad they really look. It's not putting Newcastle down by saying this or not patronising them, but I really think Newcastle are going to get a result against United this weekend. And I think Newcastle fans will probably expect that as well. So Wilson's on pens, going to be playing up front probably by himself. 6.5 million, is that what his price is at the moment? I got him in at there at 6.4. He's going to be in my team for at least the next 10 weeks looking at Newcastle's fixtures. So yeah, wasn't quite brave enough to even consider giving him the captain's armband, but sure, you never know, in the next few weeks he might get a few games as captain. Finally, save the best to last, Calvert-Lewandowski, as maybe he's kind of known on Twitter at the moment. He's he had his debut for England there over the international break, scored his goal, then got to play the next game and even got brought on there in the last game. Confidence is going to be an all-time high for this guy. He's going to be going into this Liverpool game, Everton fan, just dying to get on the score sheet. And look, as a fantasy football player, all you need is your players wanting to do that. So again, if I was going to tip any of these players in my starting 11 to be there at the end of the season, it's going to be him. He's already had 6 price rises. He's 99% on FPL statistics to get the 7th there. He's probably going to be a £9 million striker by the end of the year. So yeah, maybe he won't get a goal against Liverpool. Maybe he will. But yeah, he's going nowhere. I might eventually have to drop one of my Everton players. It'll probably be Lucadinha. But certainly Calvert-Lewin's going nowhere. Yeah, so just the bench. So Steer's obviously not going to get a game. Now, we've got a couple of injuries or a couple of risks in our starting 11. So there's a good chance that Mitchell, he may get on the pitch. So who have Crystal Palace got? Crystal Palace playing Brighton at home. So yeah, actually it's a pretty good fixture generally. So I'm not worried if he has to get brought on. There's no guarantee Mitchell's going to get games though. That's the problem. Van Aanholt's back. So whether he's not in this week, it'll be in the next few weeks. Mitchell's no longer a nailed on starter. Podence, similar bowl. Maybe he won't get on the pitch, but there's a good chance he does. So I'm hopeful that I have at least one of these guys who will play, because there's a good chance that not all of my first 11 will. And Delap, look, my punt of the season lasted about a week. He's probably the second I've got a spare free transfer. I'm not going to waste it on changing a £4.5 million striker, but if I have 2 rolled over and I don't have one to use, I'm just going to swap him for Brewster. Look, I'm not jumping on the Brewster bandwagon, but at least Brewster's guaranteed to get games that Sheffield United just paid 20-odd million for him. They've not paid that, just leave him on the bench. Yeah, so Delap, probably never going to be in my first 11 again, unfortunately. So that dream is dead. Now, looking at the squad value, look, squad value is not that important, a lot of people will say. Personally, I think it's important enough that it's worth a mention. We've now got 1.9 million. I wish we had 1.9 million. We've now got 101.9 million between squad value and in the bank money. So look, happy enough with that. I don't think I've ever had it increase by 2 million in the first 4 game weeks. So hopefully, although we've not had the best start, I think we're top 600,000, 679,000th. I think hopefully over the next few game weeks, the difference between this team and maybe a similar team that has maybe a squad value of 100.5 million, the extra 1.5 million really might start to show. So yeah, there might be a video in the future about the kind of intricacies of squad value and things like that, but I've just not planned it out yet. So yeah, that's the team. Look, if you've watched to this point, thanks a lot for listening to 16 minutes of me talking to myself. Hit that subscribe button. We've just passed 350 subscribers. Yeah, that's it. Drop a comment. Tell me about your teams. And if you've got any questions about individual players, always happy to answer them. So until then, we'll see you after this game week.